As You Like It was the first song that I heard from Eve, and I can't wait to break it down for you today. Make sure to like the video if you enjoy the breakdown. Now on to the video. As You Like It has three main characters. While the boy and the girl don't have any real names, the man wearing a glove over his head is called Handman. The name was given by Eve's artbook. From the start of the music video, the design of each character tells you more about them. The boy wears a hoodie, which is often worn by younger people, and is the type of outfit that is worn for comfort. The hair covering one eye is associated with shyness or negative emotions. We see both his eyes at the end of the music video, when he's happy, or when the mask pops and he sees the girl. When talking about being shy to hold hands, he takes his hood off, which shows that he's coming out of his shell a little bit. The shape of his eyes are sharp, which shows that he's determined and serious. And of course the bags under his eyes shows that he's lacking sleep and is tired. His eyes are plain throughout the video, but at the end of the video they are bright. On the other hand, Handman seems to be the complete opposite. His outfit consists of a suit and tie, which makes him look more mature and professional than the boy. It's not the most comfortable attire. His eyes are rounder in comparison, and the mask could be interpreted as a literal mask that he presents to the world, a representation of what the boy thinks that the girl wants. It's clear that the girl is a love interest, by the pink-coloured hair often associated with love. Her clothing changes frequently, making her fashionable and attractive. Her school uniform also makes it clear that she is young. There are a few background characters to the music video, although they seem to be the characters' other thoughts. The boy's shadow splits into hooded characters, which also has round-headed characters at the end of the music video. The round-headed characters appear to be the audience of the boy's performance. You can see one of them moving their hands back and forth, which is also the same movement below the stage, while the hooded characters wave. This is also the moment I realised that the two people waving at the rocket were just background characters. I spent way too long trying to figure out which characters they were. The boy is split into 4 individual parts of himself. This is a reference to the manga, which is about a poor man who inherits land, but 3 of his future selves meet up and discuss about it. However, it doesn't end well. 3 of them appear as the normal version of himself, while the other one is being Handman. Handman is a separate side of the boy as a Zingai, which means that this side of him has very strong thoughts and emotions compared to the others. Zingais are usually formed from strong feelings. There are multiple scenes where it shows his other selves. This is the first scene with 3 of them. While this scene talks about Phase 1 and Phase 2, the boy is number 1, while the other 2 are number 2, or secondary. Phase 1 is mainly about the boy and his struggles, but in Phase 2 we see the secondary sides of him make an appearance, as the boy tries to understand himself more. They discuss about the girl, as her image is on the screen with a little heart beating next to it. When seeing the girl, the other sides come out more, as falling in love make him messy, and is trying to reassure himself. The boy's chair is different compared to the other boys, and is in the middle of the discussion, which represents that this is the main side of the boy. The middle one is also put under pressure to talk, possibly about him making an appearance as his real self, a debut on stage. Not going to lie, he looks nice in a suit. It seems as though he's trying to make himself look professional in front of a crowd. The other 2 sides of him represent Origin and Sad. While Origin might mean the main boy, Original in this sense means the self that he grew from, his origin. There's a small scene in which a ticket is ripped 3 times while the boy is struggling in what appears to be a water-filled mask. The way he waves his hand around is similar to near the end. Tickets are often used to grant people permission to enter. It could mean that the boy is open to having a discussion with the other selves, and granted them permission to talk. Just like how the boy started to talk to Handman and shake on things, his other sides also come to some sort of agreement. The lettering on the paper is the same as the lettering on the ticket, just inverted, although it seems as though the agreement backfired, considering that the boy and the other sides of him don't want Handman to take the girl. The boy's heart is beating just like before in the discussion room. This can be interpreted as the boy following his heart. The line across his mask looks like the number 1, signifying that he is the main boy, just like in the beginning. The relationship between the boy and Handman is a lot different compared to the other versions of him. Hanman appears to present the more ideal version of the boy, someone that the girl might prefer instead of him. We see Hanman trying to convince the boy that he should take the lead. There is a moment in the music video where there are 3 other Hanman suits with one taken out. The 3 other suits are for the 3 sides of the boy, while the one that is missing is the one that is being worn by Hanman. There are other scenes which points to the other sides of the boy. He struggles to keep the mouth of his head open, which suggests that he struggles to speak as himself, because the voices of his other sides come before his own. In the discussion scene, we see that both the boys are discussing, but the main version of him isn't. He also struggles to get his own voice across to the girl. There are also 5 seats at the train station. 1 seat which is for the girl, the rest for the 4 boys to sit. The boy also mentions wanting courage to hold hands with the girl, and hand-holding appears 5 times, suggesting that the boy wants to get along with the girl and his other selves. From the start, the boy hits rock bottom, jumping from a great height. The pipe and gear seem to belong to the stage, which is now broken, while Hanman is getting ready to perform on stage. The brain connecting represents Hanman to be the other side of the boy. Of course, the boy isn't completely certain about Hanman, but he starts to take the lead anyway. Having no say, the boy just watches from afar. The scenes after show how the boy is feeling depressed. The lyrics describing how he is numb, with no emotions behind his words, and how his memories hurt him. He doesn't have the confidence to approach the girl. He decides to go after her anyway, because he shouldn't stand still. The screws fly might be referring to having a few loose screws, which is a phrase used to describe someone that isn't thinking right. This might be referring to the boy, or the idea that chasing after the girl is crazy on its own. When he calls life a sham, feels as though he can't show his real self, and that he has to be someone else, like Hanman. The scenes after show him getting hit by a car, or thoughts to end his life. The roof eroding represents that he's insecure and is exposed, and the shirt might be a metaphor for being left hung to dry, a phrase meaning that he is stuck in a difficult situation without any help. He's constantly making sure not to tell himself to give up. The paper reads, "Don't say," again and again in Japanese. Despite his resolve, he still has some struggles. He doesn't like himself when looking into the mirror, and when trying to chase after the girl, he's pinned down by other thoughts, or round-headed characters stopping him. Don't say it's too late now. He tries to reach out to himself. For a brief moment, we see the boy on stage. While it seems like he's on stage, he's actually representing Hanman. You can see Hanman on the screen here. The audience is waving glowing red sticks, the same as the start when the boy was sat watching Hanman as he took over. The boy, who has been in his room for the whole day, ends up closing the curtains, shutting the window, and letting the fire take up air in the room, at which point he reminds himself to take a shot. He starts to talk to Hanman, although he doesn't know himself well, or know what the right answer is. There are things they get along with, but end up arguing, and start suggesting each other to the girl, fearing that the girl will disappear once meeting him. "You disappear before I can touch you." Hanman starts to take the lead again, and the boy decides to trail behind. However, this time he's a little more understanding of himself, and his other sides, however chaotic it is. Seeing Hanman take the girl was the final push that made him realize that he didn't want Hanman taking the girl, and ends up going for it. The boy takes the lead, and even though he doubts himself, he took the risk. There are a few scenes where his face is split apart when he's singing. This is a reflection of how he's feeling. When phase 2 starts, one side of him is normal, while the other side looks messy. The negative side of him starts talking about feeling bottled up and giving up on his dreams, letting Hanman to intervene again between him and the girl, as well as Hanman trying to put the mask on the boy to become Hanman. This scene in particular, he talks about becoming better with his other selves, but it's starting to fall apart. You see some shavings fall before showing his face. The other close-ups are him singing on stage. He's holding the same microphone that we see previously on stage. In the book, we see the boy reminding himself about something, and that's to keep moving forward. There are 2 little blue versions of him. One of them is walking, and the other one is running. We see the walking version previously above a train door, and the running one refers to him when he is running between the scenes. Eve often uses real locations in his music videos, and they are normally well known in Japan. The intersection in the music video is most likely Ikebukuro, Japan's biggest intersection. The other is Yotsuya train station, The location is written in Japanese on the signs, and a train passes by briefly. While these places explain some of the locations, I couldn't help but notice that there might be another location, close to the open sea. So I went back to the music video to take another look, to see if there was something else that can show me the location. If we ignore the fact that the boy is saying goodbye to his dreams, we can see that there's some sort of mountainous region with a few electrical towers and buildings below. So I did the rational thing and searched up Electrical Tower Japan. I wasn't expecting any results, but Wiki showed me something interesting. The tallest electrical tower in Japan is Shushi Power Line, which stretches across Rabbit Island and the coast of Takehara. Since there were many buildings in the scene, it made more sense that the boy was on the mainland facing away from the sea. There's also a mountain called Mount Kuryo-Takeyama, with electrical towers running across it, which matches the mountainous region in this scene. Coincidence? I think. Maybe. It's purely speculation. There's also a beach nearby that looks similar to the music video. The building that sticks out into the ocean appears to be the music venue, and the rockets are placed behind the stage. The hooded characters appear near the rocket waving, and also at the end above the stage, which means that they are close together. There isn't a real stage on the ocean, it seems to be fictional. There's also a park further away from the coast, and even a train station that might be different to Yotsuya, as the scenes appear to be different places, especially towards the end when Hanman is sat down, while he dances in the other train scene. Throughout the music video, there are images of a rocket being launched. This represents his attempt and wanting to be successful, just like a real launch. The first launch is set out by Hanman, although in the next scene we can see that it fails and explodes in the background. When the boy attempts to do the same, it doesn't work out either, as he's in conflict with himself. The more they fight, the more explosions appear, and it doesn't work out. Halfway through the music video, they watch the rocket starting to move forward into space, and it seems as though the boy and Hanman are starting to sort out their differences and come to some sort of agreement with each other. Although there are still parts that the boy doesn't agree with, but he's a little closer to being better with his other selves. He sees that it's possible that the rocket can reach space, however not by having Hanman take the girl. He comes to the realization that he is strongly against it, and this is shown by the other versions of him also disagreeing. All three of their hands reach out in protest, and when we cut back to the scene, it's the boy reaching forward. When the train cuts in front of him, this often represents a lost window of opportunity. The alarm also represents his realization as he wakes up from all the mess that he has been experiencing. This is the second day of the music video, and the audience cheering for Hanman has left. The boy is shown holding a blue glow stick, which represents support for himself to take the lead. Despite the doubts from his other selves, he decides to take the opportunity to approach the girl as himself. Instead of doing Hanman's dance move with rotating his hand, when the boy is on stage, he moves his hand back and forth, which is why he wasn't so enthusiastic before when dancing in the music video, because he was doing Hanman's dance instead of his own. The round-headed guys and the audience below him do the same moves in support of him, as well as the audience waving blue glow sticks instead of red. The boy also raises his hand for the first time, which was something that only Hanman and the girl did. There's often confetti when the rocket launches, and in the end there's plenty of confetti, which suggests that there's a successful launch going on behind them. While the stage might suggest that the boy has a popular pop star self, which is Hanman, another perspective is that the boy is trying to please a crowd with his performance and act. As You Like It is also the name of a play written by Shakespeare. One scholar, Shaw, criticized that the play itself was made to please the crowd, as it wasn't as well written as other plays written by Shakespeare. The title including you is a reference to the crowd's preference. The boy finds his own audience that supports him instead of Hanman. The play itself touches on the concept of dramaturgy, which is also the title of another Eve song featuring the stage. The whole world is a stage, and all the men and women are merely actors. They have their exits and their entrances, and in his lifetime, a man will play many parts. The play comes to an end, with all the struggles coming together to form a happy ending, much like the music video. The play discusses different types of love. Those of us who are really in love will do the strangest things. Love is merely a form of insanity. The boy comes up with all different situations, where the girl rejects him, getting eaten by her, and falling in love with Handman instead of him. It's better to be skilled at self-defense than it is to avoid fighting. It's better to risk it by marrying, or in this case, to be himself when approaching the girl. It's better to take the chance to be successful than it is missing the opportunity. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to see more Eve breakdown videos, there's a playlist. And until next time, have a good one.